Good morning. Good morning. Getting everything set up. I'm probably forgetting something, but let's keep going. Let's get it started. And good morning. Happy Tuesday. Starting a little late today, but still, we're starting. That night I've got a hard cutoff. I gotta be doing something else at 9 o'clock. So in 2 hours. I got 2 hours. Let's get this here working. The problem here is that we're using this cow here. And the cow, we're still having the same compilation error. It's when we were using the beef cow. Hey, good morning, Midnight Muffins. How are you? I think we need to enable Saturday deserialize with on this. Oh, a joke. What do Olympic sprinters eat before a race? I don't know. What? Nothing. They fast. Nice. I remember seeing. All right, let's toss that one in the. No, I don't see that one. I kind of remember that one, but I don't. I don't see it in there. What is that for you? I'm not counting. A page? I got a page worth. I caught my son chewing on electrical cords, so I had to ground him. He's doing better currently, and now conducting himself properly. It's great. Okay, we deserialize with deserialized cow. Now we need that in the scope, which it doesn't exist. Still doesn't exist. Deserialized cow. There it is. We need something like this. That's not actually correct. Um, At least I don't think it is. Okay. All right. Let's rename this to what about cowboy? Value is going to be a string. Expecting a string. I'm going to call visit string. Oh, well, that's right. All right, so we still have some mismatched types going on. Where is that? Oh, deserialized bool. Oh, there. Okay. So how do we end up deserialize something that has the Saturday lifetime? In this case, could use the Saturday lifetime here, but that's not going to be passed through. Can I deserialize when the lifetime parameter called? Okay. What about here? It's undeclared. Just wondering what deserialize does to it. Expected and found. It's the lifetimes. Visitors good. Deserialize with has different types. Is that the only thing that's different? I'd say it's static in this at this point. As it's going to be owned. We can't borrow from JavaScript in these cases, so we should only be getting a string out. Hmm. The trait bound for the lifetime DE template flash models flash underscore Saturday deserialized DE is not satisfied. Okay, so deserialize is not satisfied for flash, our struct. The trait for DE deserialize is not implemented for flash. Saturday WASM bindgen from value v. Source template flash line 30. Yes, this is that code. Yes, it should be owned. And why is it not owned in this case? A data structure that can be deserialized without borrowing any data from the deserializer. It's nice. And does that mean that here, or we could say that where this is deserialize Oh no, that needs to be a deserializer. The deserialize and deserializer traits both have a lifetime called DE, as do some of the deserialization related traits. This lifetime is what enables Serday to safely perform efficient zero coffee deserialization across a variety of data formats, something that would be impossible or recklessly unsafe in languages other than Rust. Okay. This means T can be deserialized with any lifetime. The caller gets to decide what lifetime. Usually, this is because the data is being deserialized from it that it, that is being deserialized from is going to be thrown away before the function returns. Let's see. The deserialized own trait is equivalent to their higher rank trait bound for DE deserialized DE. The only difference is deserialized owned is more intuitive to read. It means T owns all the data that gets deserialized for all lifetimes. So when we go to serialize it, I would like this cow to be able to use borrowed strs. But when we're deserializing it, I want it to only deal with owned types. Interesting. More clause for the serialization and deserialization impulse. This replaces any trait bounds inferred by Serday. Allows specifying independent bounds for serialization versus deserialization. Huh. So does that mean we could use deserialize owned for these? Maybe. From type. Okay, then we have some tagging, renaming. Oh, where is it? Let's go back one. Yeah, that's the one I want. Cannot find type T in this scope. Yeah, that's true. There's no type T. Flatten skip. Skip serializing. Oh, hey. Sorry. If a child doesn't want to take a nap, are they guilty of resisting arrest? Ooh. All right, midnight muffins. It's a crime. Either way. Because if they go willingly, you end up with kidnapping. It's kind of a multi-part one, huh? All right. Let's say you're in this area. It's kind of a little compound joke there. I like the follow on that. Nice. Truly an honor. Oh, that's funny. So we could put the bound directly on this. But we still don't have some like arbitrary type. We don't have a generic. All right. Yeah, we don't have a generic here. Want to visit string to owned. I don't really want to implement my own deserializer for this. I do not want to borrow data. Attribute may specify explicitly which lifetimes should be borrowed. Maybe. Can we specify this? No, but not like we can change it and say, oh, no, this is only static. That doesn't work. And that's the same as this. All right, got the desk raised. Do some standing. I guess I'm not seeing the not seeing the issue. Here, I'm gonna delete this here for a minute. Toss this down here. Just want the one error. Yeah, I'm entering Xenocron. Well, this is what does the thing say? It says, "What's a question that I will attempt to answer in a 15-minute video on YouTube?" So yeah, there's supposed to be like little I guess shorts, right? Something that I'll take away with from the stream and then set up later. Did I just change the reward name? I did not. All right. So this here, the trade bound for this lifetime deserialize is implemented for this. for all lifetimes. That's a pretty generous reward for only 1K. Very nice. Well, I figure it'll just kind of build up some library on YouTube, right? Just a section of helpful little shorts, which is kind of the purpose, right? Learning Rust. Like right here, I'm trying to learn how to wire this up. I think it's possible, but I don't know how to do it. And if I could, you know, toss 1K of, stream points at somebody and say like, please explain this to me. And then, then there's a video later. That'd be great. Yeah, I didn't want it too high that somebody couldn't do it. So V here is a JS value. We can't go from value because the return type doesn't implement deserialized own, and it doesn't implement deserialized own because to do that, it would have to be for the DE lifetime, which is I read it as all possible lifetimes at this point because DE is not constrained, right? I'm waiting for that aha moment. I'll just stare at it for a moment here. Let's see if it turns it into an aha moment. Deserialize, but for the DE lifetime, which I believe includes static, so owned. And then they implement it for everything. For T, where T is that? Wow, that is just so much and so few lines. Hmm. Now, if this was a string, it would work, but because we have this lifetime here, it doesn't work. Interesting that this is kind of I don't know. It's we might actually have to impl our own deserialize for it to control it. Implementing a deserializer. Because we know that this is going to go into an owned value via deserialized cow. So it's going to be owned when it's deserialized. Custom link. How you doing? Just got the first shot. Oh well. So let's see. Custom data format. We don't really want. Basically, I just want to be able to say deserialize this. Ignore the lifetime for this because this thing's going to handle it for us. It's going to be owned. If we go back up to mod here, deserialize cow, should be able to deserialize this, but it'll have a static. Hmm. Second is where it hits hard. Means it's working. See, I don't think we can do much here. Where D is. Hmm. Hamster deserializer. Oh, interesting. That's funny because I actually don't want to use this. Like a counter. Huh. Do they actually reference a cow in this page? Well, they do. But that's for borrow. Not borrowed. This field is never borrowed. Well, see, that's what I would expect here. So we have two serialized. We've got an own string, borrowed inner, which is that. And then this field is never borrowed. Saturday, deserialized owned. There is no answer. Yeah, they're doing exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. Hmm. How do I store results using Saturday zero copy deserialization of a futures enabled hyperchunk? Hyperchunk? I'd like to change my X and Y types to use a cow and stir further fields. Changing from deserialized owned to deserialized. Hmm. Yeah. If we do that, then it's definitely not. That will not work because it's not owned. I wonder if there's something that we missed in the cargo what features. Do we have to enable this? RC, derive. Probably not. I think the problem has to do with this lifetime here, not necessarily this one. So if we did do a deserializer for this, let's go down that road. We should be able to just call the other function, but we have to bootstrap it. All right, container attributes. Deserialize. Do they have a deserialize with? Untagged. Serialized. Default. Remote transparent. Try from. Into. Create. Hmm. Deserialize this type by deserializing into from type, then converting fallibly. I must implement that with an error type that implements display and from type. Okay. Oh, we could do that. slash deserialize. I mean, it's silly, but we basically just have this and a string. Brooke Zucker, thank you for the raid. How are you? We are playing with Saturday. There we go. I can do it. Ugh. How's your project? Let's see. You've gone on to oh, WebSockets. I saw WebSockets. That's right. I hope they're treating you well. All them WebSockets. And why'd you go with WebSockets instead of like server side events? And check on Starlink. It's been a little choppy today. I wonder if it updated recently. Let's see. See, look at that. Whipped little red bit up here. Oh, it's hard to see the white mouse and white background. WebSockets in the back end, view on the front end. Nice. Ah, yes, for that makes sense. Let's see. Uptime. Actually, it's been up for a while. Just don't know why. Hmm. Yeah, the stats on that. Other outages, 2 minutes. The last 12 hours. They must be working on something. Not borrow data here, can we? Yeah, there's no stir. You can't do a stir or anything like that. And that makes sense. Like, if you're trying to deserialize something using Saturday, and you have a something like a JavaScript type that you're trying to point to, you can't do that. You can't borrow from a JS string from Rust. And for everybody that's new, we're actually building some Rust code that gets compiled down to WASM, WebAssembly. So, hence the talk of JS values and borrowing. I guess we could have two types here. One that's borrowed and one that's not. That's kind of. I was hoping that it would just let us do this because this type here is owned. I did butcher that rename. There we go. What media have you been enjoying lately? Books or movies or games or whatever? Oh, good question. Um, we've actually been doing some Minecraft. Yeah. Hardcore mode. Basically, we'll get everybody into a hardcore world and say, okay, we're going to see how far we can go. And we're going to, shut the world down when half of us are dead. Then we restart a new one. It's like Survival Island, It's kind of fun. I don't really like this flash owned thing. So if I'm going to do this, okay, flash owned, deserialize. Yeah, see that's just fine. That didn't help. So this is our serialized one, or creating them and saving them. This is the other one. The other one. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of this. Don't want extra stuff hanging around. All right. You joined in. Haven't touched Minecraft since the 1.0 release. It's on your list to revisit. Yeah, they've got quite a bit going on. That's fun. Then yeah, I've got a bunch of kids, so say I mean sometimes we'll go like an hour or two after like after somebody's died. Somebody will die within like the first 5 minutes or something. Like, what happened? Taking straight down again. You shouldn't do that. Don't do that. I died early in one of our sessions. I thought I could hit the water off a cliff. And clip the ground. It was sand too. But nope, Minecraft's like, that's a block. You're dead. So, yes, and let's put this back. Oh, thank you for that follow 6 minutes ago. Did Mitch wake up and do its thing? I must have missed it. My apologies. Unexpected end of input. Why? So this, wait, which line? Let's delete these three here. How about that? The method mod render 2 exists for struct render wrapper flash level, but its trait bounds were not satisfied. Oh, flash level. Okay. So we need to implement that. A long fall will be lethal regardless. It's true. It's true. Okay, flash level here. Oh, let's implement toString for this. Not the right one. Fine. That's standard formatter. We're going to match self here. Info, warn, and error. Okay, now that's happier. Tab that, good. Does it actually compile? Oh, it compiles. Just carry a bucket with a cubic meter of water. You can also use was it one of the gels? You can use a gel, right, and then just bounce. I was thinking that'd be a cool entrance to like a secret base. Have it like really high up over some lava or something. So you have to jump off one cliff, take your little sticky bounce thing with you, hit the ground with it, and then land in the other side perfectly. Right, that little one slot doorway. Or the lava, either hit the wall or, yeah. I'm just checking to make sure it builds because we have Flash in pages for users list, right? So we're going to list this here, but we're not going to have any Flash messages yet. Right? Let's make sure it renders. Yeah, a cubic meter of water. I mean, how much does that weigh? We've got our little flash data in our cookie already. We don't have any users. Let's create one. Halsey. You get all the roles, Halsey. All right. If we inspect the page here, what is this marker? Huh. Oh, it's that little guy at the front. Little. Okay. Well, that looks good. Now let's populate that. If we go into lib, we're going to need some way to be able to look at a request, look at its cookies, etc., and be able to populate those on the event. So event here is creating a new request. And we should probably extract this out. We need to look at the request cookies, the headers. You can make lava float with tripwire. Jump through that and land on the other side. Oh, water. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's cool. Just like in real life. I'm gonna put that back. Let's go back here. Maybe it should be kind of a lazy thing because we don't need to, like, if a request is going to the server for something else, let's say the favicon, or some of the other resources, we don't actually want to clear the cookie unless somebody's going to unless somebody's going to consume the flash object, the flash cookies. So our flash template here, we get this event, and at this point we're looking for the state for these, but it's not in the state, it's actually in the headers. It's going to be in a cookie. And if we consume these, we should be able to send a delete on them. Where though? It's not like we can hold on to the event until render. So we could just say, okay, we're going to get it here. We're going to modify the response here and saying clear the flash cookies. So only on pages that have flash will it actually clear flash. That works. So how do we get to flash out of this? We're not going to be doing state, getting it out of state. We could put a little function on flash, on event itself. You put it on request. Oh, we need to actually modify the response at the same time. So maybe we put it on event. Of function take flash. It's JavaScript itself. It'll be a string. So the request is a JavaScript object here. So we have to call headers to get a headers object. Okay. Now, what do we have on headers? Yeah, we want to get cookies. And if we look at the network, when we are making a request to this, we do a get. Request headers should include cookies, shouldn't they? Of course, my cookies aren't correct. The ones we're creating. If we go back to, what's it, storage, we'll look at the cookies. We see that we do have 3 for domain. Localhost session cookies, yes. HTTP only, false. Secure, false. They should probably be secure, but last accessed yesterday. Oh, and the path. These have an implied path on them, don't they? So we didn't set a path. We'll come back to that. We need to fix our cookies. Set append cookie in here. Flash that cookie. Now, in this case, we're probably going to need some extra settings. Secure would be nice, but it doesn't work for debugging. Right? When we're working localhost, that just doesn't work. We need some way to turn that on and off. Expires, max age, domain, path, secure. Some of these are going to be easy to put on there. Others, a little bit more challenging. I'm going to go with an aggressive default. Mostly aggressive. Can we get the domain? We're going to want this set in our environment, aren't we? So that should actually come out of like the Cloudflare settings. Either that or we can compile it in. All right, well, that there should get us a little bit further. Let's toss a little fix me. Secure. What else? Expiration. Domain. Path. Okay. Some of these should probably be um, values that we could pass in. All right. Let's create some users so we can delete them again and get some better cookies. What kind of cookies should we get? What is? Okay. Evil Halsey. Just a user. And a super user. All right. Now, go back to memory. There's none. Not for this. Okay. Still a super user? Are we sure? Yes, we are. Oh, that's memory. That's not storage. There we go. Path slash. So in this case, we should have sent that cookie. Cookies. Oh, request cookies. Good. And let's say we wanted to have more than one. Okay. Come back here. It looks like the multiple isn't working. Multiple would work if the paths were slightly different at the top level. But when we call set cookie, it just overwrites it. Okay. That's fine. I still think it might be possible to have two flash messages. If we call set cookie twice, maybe? I'm not certain. So if we did that twice, okay, let's add some new users. All right. Nope. Still just one. That's fine. Okay. It's good to know how that works. This is much more like a set cookie, isn't it? Like not set cookie. Set cookie. So if we take these cookies, how do we end up taking them? So we look for the cookie header, and this could be multiple elements. What if we had more than one cookie? What would that look like here? I know I'm doing kind of bouncing around here this morning, but oh, they just wanted to stir. Well, we can do that. I should have seen that. It's just above. So we post cookies. Response cookies, request cookies. Oh, did it not? We should have had two cookies there. Where's our AOU cookie? I'm not seeing that at all. And the raw response here. Set cookie, flash, same site. We only have one of those? Ah, we found a bug. That's not good. So when we call set cookie, what happens? We append to the headers. And this just pushes something on there, which is great. Now, when we go to get the response, when we create Cloudflare headers from our headers, we're also calling append. It doesn't look like we are like deduplicating them, anything like that. This thing's just a vector with a tuple in it. That's strange. That's really strange. Oh, well, Midnight Muffins, thank you for hanging out. And welcome. Oh, we got a crash. Let's do it again. Create another one. Just one more. Okay, now we have three. Cookies that we're sending, just the one. We should be able to get the logging here. So this is part of the redirect. We can see that the location header is being set to admin users. Are we sure? Yes, we are sure. So we have set cookie. Oh, I wonder if this is a poorly formatted cookie. And that our response here. Oh, no, it is actually working. Okay. And then our next request here, we actually sent both. That's fine. If we look at the headers, the request headers for the cookie. Yeah, what's this encoding called? Okay. And what about escaping this? Separated by a semicolon and a space. So we could split on that. But how do you end up? Um, actually, does WebSys have cookies? Okay. Yeah, that's for the document. If you're actually in a web page, which we're not. All right. So we're not in a web page. We're going to have to parse our cookies. Let's look at the MDN page. Get rid of the Saturday ones. We're done with that for now. Look at the spec. I emit cookies. Okay, let's get list. Da, da, da. Serialize the cookie list into a cookie string by processing each cookie in the cookie list in order. Output the cookie's name, the equals sign character, and the cookie's value. If there's an unprocessed cookie in the cookie list, output the character 3B. Okay. And what about escaping? Sequence of octets, not a sequence of characters. To convert the cookie string or components thereof into a sequence of characters for presentation to the user might wish to try using the UTF-8 character encoding. Practical limits. Servers should use as few and as small cookies as possible. Yeah. And now it's going to talk about expirations and all sorts of stuff. If the set cookie string contains the semicolon character, the name value pair string consists of the following characters up to, but not including, the first semicolon, and the unparsed attributes consist of the remainder of the set cookie string, including the otherwise. What? Otherwise, the name value pair string consists of all the characters contained in the set cookie string. Does it become 2? The unparsed attributes consist of the remainder of the set cookie string. Too many cookies in your opinion? Too tasty. Oh, I've got an issue with cookies. I gotta limit my cookie intake. Mm. Yeah, cookie theft. We excluding the and then white space characters. The value of a cookie may consist of any printable ASCII character, excluding comma and semicolon. All right. Well, key parser. They're actually doing quite a bit here. Signed cookies, etc. Secrets and options. Cookie parser. Cookies. Cookie to parse cookies. Signed cookies, JSON cookies, cookies. Cookie. JSON cookie. Signed cookies. I wasn't really paying attention as I went through. I just saw cookie. Here. Split it. Look for equal sign. Kind of. It's very form-like, right? Yeah, and then you have some extra properties here. If you're actually not, because you don't receive the max age again, right? Or the expires. I mean, maybe you do. We haven't tested that. What if we tried to modify our cookies? Let's go to storage. Just put a semicolon in there. Reload this page. Go to the network. Cookies. This is a test. Oh, look. Looks all horrible. Yeah, I just screwed up the formatting. All right. Well, let's go with the happy path then. We have a parser. Basic cookies. WASM cookies. Cookies in the browser. Actually, it's not what I want. How much code is there for this? The expansion, percent encoding, private secure signed. Wait, what was it? The next one said Wookie? Okay. Oh, NGTO7, thank you for the follow. And I'm going to kick Mitch here. There we go. Enables percent encoding and decoding of names and values in cookies. Okay. Signed. Private. Enables private, authenticated, encrypted cookies via cookie jar private. Yeah, the problem is where we are, right? Signing things isn't straightforward. So I don't know if, like, what the dependencies are for that. Need to bloat our code with that. But we could use the base of this. The cookie jar type, which manages a collection of cookies for session management, recording changes as they are made, and optional automatic cookie encrypting and signing. Yeah, we're going to skip that part. Percent encoding, signed, private, okay. I mean, percent encoding, maybe? That would pull in percent encoding. Good morning, only cliches. Iterate over the changes to the cookie jar. Cookie jar. All right. Let's add it. Cargo. Add cookie. Cookie or cookies? Cookie. There we go. Let's add to our event. We can add cookie to it. Or cookie jar. Something. Actually, where is cookie? Ah, event. Oh, it's still, I just restarted it. I'm going to pour some water while it's doing its thing. Then I've got about 35 minutes I can do. All right. So, event should be in here. Cookie jar. I kind of want this to be not public. Cookie jar. And then we'll have to ask for it. Because we don't want to parse it if we don't have to. So we can create a new one. Always have that. Add original. Now what is a cookie? Okay, original cookies do not affect the delta. Good. So we're actually going to have an optional cookie jar. There we go. Maybe we just call it cookies. Cookies is better. Or maybe just ask for a cookie. And we do some stuff behind the scenes. So if it doesn't exist, match self dot cookie jar. If it doesn't exist, we need to create it and populate it. It's kind of lazy loading. Maybe we... How would this look? We need cookies and... New one, add original. We need cookies with name and value. Parse. Looks like we call parse. It's either that or we do some of this ourselves. So we could use the decode URI component in pieces. What was that other thing? We had something in actually had to do with host data. This here. We end up calling decode URI component. And I think this actually does the percent decoding for us. So we might actually have to implement some of the parse ourselves. Okay, we'll have to do that before and after. Meeting time. Yeah, I got another 15 minutes still. I'm boarding that train. Well, have a good meeting, Brooke. And take care. And thank you for the raid. Self dot request headers dot get. It's just get, wasn't it? Headers can return an error. Nope, it just returns headers. Headers has a get. So we get cookie. Why would this fail? If we go get, returns null if it doesn't exist. Okay. Yeah. Okay, get cookie. We unwrap that. Oh, but if it doesn't exist, we're still going to create an empty cookie jar, aren't we? That'll be an option. This is more an if less sum, isn't it? Now, when do we get that? What is it going to return? Option to a string. Oh, well, okay. How do you set the type in this? Say I wanted to tell my editor that that was a string. Can't do option string here, can I? No. I know it's a string. I just don't think it knows. So we're going to call split on this. It'll give us an iterator. Or the items of stir. Okay. Cookie. So then we have the cookie, and we'll split it again. Those split ones. See if we can't split this. There's other issues. Can I give it just... Oh, I can give it just a character. If we get a none here, I'm going to say, like, there's some malformed cookie or something. We should log that. Or return an error. Hmm. That looks correct. That's the right one. Oh, the for each isn't closed. There. Okay. Now, if we do have a cookie, we should probably URL decode it or do something fun with it. I guess we could have just called parse, couldn't we? Cookie.parse. No, we want cookie parse. All right, so we do the split. We get the cookie.parse. Now we're going to have a result. And iterator do something else? I'm going to collect these into cookies. A vector of cookie. Oh, yes. What is our cookie parser? Cookie parser. All right. So now we have our cookie here. Cookie jar. Bind immutable reference. I don't really want to move out of it. I just want to borrow it. Just for a moment. Hmm. So if we insert the cookie jar there, let's do this a different way. And we'll do the initialization. And then hey, Black Tomcat. That was almost no stream delay. Just, I don't know. I'm doing well, thank you. You're actually catching the end of the stream here. And welcome. We are working on our cookie jar setup for a mimeograph. Lazy load the cookies. All right. We need to return an option to a cookie. So the cookie exists. Now, at this point, we know that the cookie jar is something because it must be something at this point. We just checked. If it's nothing, if it's not something, then we create it. Oh. Yeah, we have we have every all the automod stuff cranked way up. Don't worry about it. It's all right. I mean, watch it there. Seriously, so edgy. All right, all right. Now we're gonna have the cookie jar here. And what do we call on cookie jar? So we've got cookie. Give me my jar. Yet. Then we get an option to a cookie, static, yada yada. Okay, so we'll have to change our return type. There we go. Oh, wrapped it in an okay, yes. Yes, Clippy. Right away, Clippy. Down. You might gotta. Ah, gonna keep our mods on their toes here, huh? All right, so there's that. Now, we need to collect these. And here, I mean, we've collected them into cookies, haven't we? So we split that, parse the cookie. Now we need to add them to the jar. It can the jar consume these? There's no like from. So we want to call add original for each one of those. Can I move out of cookie jar behind middle? Interesting. I mean, we could just copy that out, but uh, one more? One more per end. There we go. Yeah, that makes sense. So we just return the jar. A reference to the jar. Huh. I mean, I know it's actually the right thing at this point. It must be something. It's not. Okay. There. Oh. Can we do an. This isn't going to work either. Yeah, temporary value again. Ignore the header bit for now. What's another way to do that? It feels like the option's kind of getting in the way. I don't want the option doing that. It's more that I'm trying to lazy load this. And I'm using option to hold that value. And later I want to return a reference to that cookie jar. I guess we could do this a different way. Always create one. All right, we could do that. Oops. Now it's always defined. Gonna, don't really care for that pattern. We could toss it in yet one more layer. What about implementing like a, option doesn't do like a as dref, does it? Well, it does have an as dref, but it always returns an option. All right. Now let's put that up at the top in case something happens. We're not gonna throw an error over and over and over again. It's going well. How are you? Kiros, how you doing? Biggie Header does not live long enough. Borrowed value does not live long enough. Does not live long enough for what? To call split on it? We'll get a better answer here. It's just an iterator. Oh, my Vim config, absolutely. Then I need to start shutting down, so gotta get ready for some meetings. Well, there's the dot configs, my dot files. Oh, you're welcome. And the bot here's up all the time, so feel free to ask it questions while I'm not here, or the Discord. We also got the Discord going. So let's see, who are we gonna raid today? What's stream? Who's streaming out there? AI stuff. No cam, no mic. Jalapeno Bomber. Alright, Jalapeno Bomber. Coming for you. I like that they were descriptive enough. They said, you know what? No cam, no mic on this. Oh, they're taking a short break, actually. Alright, well let's raid someone else then. Alright. Hirosa. There we go. Sorry, Jalapeno Bomber. It actually looks kind of neat. I might watch that later today. Got some sort of fighting game up on the screen. Right here. Looks like he's going to be using AI to do this stuff here. That seems cool. That seems really cool. But I gotta run. So thanks y'all for hanging out. I appreciate it. I need like a little, check this out, you know, sort of later screen, like a goodbye screen. But appreciated the company, and thank you for joining me on this adventure. So until next time, bye bye.